At this point, everyone has heard that the singer David is a weirdo, but his friends like Jasontheween didn't believe it at first.
David, somebody, hey, I'm gonna say this right now. He didn't kill anybody, bro. He didn't kill anybody. There's no way. There's no way he's been on tour. He's been on tour. He literally performed yesterday. Bro, do you see the videos that he makes? There's no way he's killing somebody.
Don't worry though, guys, because I collected every possible piece of evidence that you could possibly need to look at this and be like, oh my god, he actually did it. Now, before we get into how David's Hollywood friends have potentially been hiding this secret for over a year now, let's start from the very top. On September 8th, a decomposing body is discovered inside the front trunk of a Tesla impounded at a Hollywood tow yard. Eyewitness News learned that the car belonged to the pop star David. The musician was currently on tour at the time. Now, David was a Fortnite streamer, Fortnite player, whatever the hell he was, and he turned into an artist. His biggest song being Romantic Homicide with 179 million views. He's also made songs with famous people like Jasontheween, who we're going to get into later, and Kali Uchis, who ended up unfollowing him. Now, at the time, David had been on tour since August 5th, and the body had apparently only been there for 3 days. So people were like, whoa, hold on, wait a second. What the hell is going on here? Some people, however, were like, oh, you know, it must have been someone who stole his car. By the way, stealing a Tesla is really hard, so it had to be either him or somebody that had access to his car. You can't just steal a Tesla. I know, I have one. David continued to act like a child and posted memes like 6'7" on September 6th, which he most likely already had the body inside the car. Some people are assuming that he most likely did this to try to distract people from the fact that he could have potentially murdered somebody. This way it's like, oh, there's no way it could have been him. He was tweeting and touring and being funny and edgy. But it just goes to show how disgusting and crazy this individual is for acting like nothing happened. This person said, no way this is the last thing David tweeted before having a dead body in his whip. As the investigation was ongoing, he continued to tour, he continued to go to his sold out shows, and even that same day on September 9th, the day that the body was discovered, he was giving out labubus at his show in Minneapolis after a female body was found. So once they found the body, he acted like nothing was happening, continued throwing labubus and continuing with his show just as planned, which made his fans be like, oh, it must have not been him. There must be a reasonable explanation. Which leads us to his recent success. I mean, the guy had a song with Jasontheween that was relatively successful. He was working on a Fortnite anthem in a music video, which ended up dropping early September. That was also huge. And he also had a Hollister times Croc collaboration. The guy had a lot of good things coming for him, especially the world tour he was about to go on. So it didn't make a lot of sense for him to murder somebody and do the things that he was doing. So that was a reason why fans weren't believing these things at first. But unfortunately, the truth was not as simple. When the dismembered body found in the singer David's abandoned Tesla last week was identified to be a 14-year-old girl. Not just that, but this 14-year-old girl had a matching tattoo with the singer. The poor girl did end up being identified as Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who was a missing girl that was last seen on April 5th, 2024. She was last seen with a Gap sweater, Hello Kitty sandals, and gray pants. Celeste's own mother even said that the daughter had a boyfriend named David, so the pieces were connecting into this horrific reality. And things just got worse and worse when fans started to investigate this further themselves. The first thing people started doing was going into David's Instagram account and searching up anybody named Celeste. If your name was Celeste and David followed you like this one right here, Celeste Herrera, then that kind of raises some eyebrows. And the more and more information was coming out, people started to turn on David. This person said, David going to hell, bro, and it got 140,000 likes. Y'all are about to piss me off. They had a matching tattoo. She had a boyfriend named David. She was found in the car belonging to singer David. Car was never reported stolen. Like, question marks. 247,000 likes. It's really hard to not look at this and not be suspicious of David. Highly suspicious of David. When the victim's body was identified and Celeste's mother spoke out saying that she had a boyfriend named David, David canceled the concert that he had that night. Which brings us to 5 different pieces of evidence that I've gathered. We have the red Reddit posts, the Discord messages, the photos they have together, and the songs that he's written for her. We'll start with the Reddit posts. According to Reddit, this was a well-known thing that this guy was a weirdo. This post from American Strawberry reads, "This guy is a weirdo. A close friend's little sister from the IE ran away last year and this is who she was with. We think her sister was pimping her out. She was in 7th grade at the time. LAPD sweep this place in the hills. I'm terrified that that's who's in the car. Nobody has heard from her in months. I won't release names as she's still a minor, but she was from Lake Elsinore. This guy is a PDF file from what I've heard. My sister, who's now in 9th grade, told me that he was dating an 8th grader, let's call her C, Celeste, and she would go on trips with him to LA. They're all in 9th grade now, and it turns out that C's friends knew and would pay them to keep their mouth shut. C has been missing for over a month now, and no one knows her whereabouts. Definitely something strange going on." Then people started to notice, wait, what the hell? Her birthday is listed as September 7th. That's the same day David uploaded the romantic homicide music video on YouTube. A little bit too many coincidences going on here. Then people were posting pictures of David paying off kids, middle schoolers or high schoolers, on the corner of Laguna Avenue and Riverside Drive, Lake Elsinore, California. So they even pinpointed exactly the area that he was paying people off to confirm that this was indeed in Lake Elsinore. So David was in the same area that Celeste went missing, paying off kids to keep quiet. It's honestly sickening. This right here in and of itself is enough evidence to, I feel, put him in custody. Then we also got the Hello Kitty thing that he had going on. David having this as his profile picture on TikTok, knowing that Celeste loved Hello Kitty, is sick and twisted. So David's profile picture on TikTok was Hello Kitty. There's screenshots from allegedly her Instagram of her holding a Hello Kitty, which could be David. Not sure what's going on, but this seems to be her wearing the Crocs, Hello Kitty. And this is where things get disgusting, because she was last seen wearing gray pants and a black sweater, a hat, and Hello Kitty sandals. So the Hello Kitty theme here is also another thing that just kind of adds on to the already piling amount of evidence that makes him look pretty goddamn guilty. Of course, we have this lovely collection of Discord messages, and these are the first ones that kind of came out. This person tweeted at LAPD saying, "David isn't innocent. Here are the screenshots from his server." David said, "I'm in a song crisis right now," and someone responded saying, "Drop the one with the missing girl Celeste Rivas Hernandez." This was back on August 16, 2024, which means the community already assumed or knew that there was something weird going on with a girl named Celeste. Now there's more screenshots of people saying, "Oh, he has a girlfriend." This is back in 2024. Someone said, "Pretty sure he's dating right now." What? Yeah, her name is Celeste. So the name Celeste being associated with David has been a thing since last year. David's Discord chat shows matching names Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Not a good look at all. Looks like some people knew already, and I'm assuming these are younger kids that didn't know any better, that thought it was cool that Celeste was dating somebody older. And it's just something that we see so often when it comes to these things, especially when there's somebody in a position of power essentially grooming a ton of different younger people because he plays Fortnite, he makes music, he's famous, and they kind of idolized him. This is David again saying, "Is Celeste in here?" To which Celeste almost immediately replies, "Hi David Bark." So there was interactions with David and Celeste since 2022, which makes this girl 12 years old. Now, if we look at the entire thread of people saying, "Pretty sure he's dating right now. Yeah, her name is Celeste." Someone by the name Ben said, "She's so pretty." To which Billy responded, "Show me." And then it kind of ends there. But people saw Celeste. They knew Celeste. This was a thing. Now, again, like I mentioned multiple times, people within the community knew that something weird was going on. There's text messages right here from David that say, "Wallahi, he's finished. I know what he leaked already. What you mean? We're literally preparing to sue him. Lamp is about to owe $30,000. Legal team going bonkers right now." And to my knowledge, I think he's talking about this person by the username Inglesi, who said he's been trying to expose David since 2023. And these are messages from his server from 2023 where he says, "He only adds underage girls. I know, right? I'm not joking either. David only talks to women from the server. Oh, bro, same, ha. Yes, for real, wow. They're also usually 15 through 16 years old too. WTF, David is a PDF." And they're all laughing about it. He ends up later addressing this video, and this is what he has to say.
"So obviously y'all have seen the current David situation. In this video, I just want to address some stuff. Now, a lot of people on Twitter are mad at me because in 2023, I tried to expose David for what he was doing at the time. And I just want to clear up that the stuff from 2023 was not about the Celeste girl. that was obviously recently in the news. It's nothing to do with her. I didn't know about her. I didn't know she was 13. I maybe heard her name once or twice. I had nothing to do with her. The stuff I have from 2023 was nothing to do with Celeste. These were other girls, underage girls, that had claimed David had messaged them or had, relationships with them, or, doing inappropriate things with them. And I want people to know that in 2023, I did try and bring the situation to light, and a lot of people remember, I was having a lot of shit for it. It got so bad that David's legal team had got in contact with me to remove everything. I've attached an email here that I received from his team in 2023. And basically, they removed my song with David from, streaming services because apparently I was spreading misinformation. The thing is, after that, I got in touch with David and I was like, yo, are the claims true and all of this? And he was like, he literally said, I've got it here. He said, no, it's just some people trying to get clout. There's no evidence and stuff. After that, everything was shut down. Everything, no one else came out after that. So from my point of view, you guys need to understand that it did look like they were just claims. So a lot of people are asking me, why was I promoting a song in 2024 and 2025 that I had with David? It's because the claims that I had in 2023 were, put on hold. It's as if they didn't exist. I had no idea. I was told that they were false by David and his legal team. So after the whole situation happened, I actually felt bad for, spreading misinformation. I thought it was all fake. Obviously, with the stuff that's happened in the past 24 hours, I realized that, they're now real, and some people have come out to me and told me that, it was true. Not just that, but in 2023, when I made the claims, David's legal team did not want anyone to know that David was doing this type of stuff. So basically they blamed me and said that I was leaking music, but I wasn't leaking any music. They blamed me for leaking music. I was leaking the facts. So they just said that they're gonna blame me for leaking music. That's my punishment. My song is off. That's it. And you guys need to understand that I felt terrible. I felt like I was gonna ruin his career out. I felt like I was spreading misinformation for him. I felt disgusting, bro. I was like, I gave him claims that weren't true, because from what it looked like to me, they weren't true. They were cleared and everything. No one else came out after that. But then obviously now it's a different story. That's why I was promoting the songs in 2024, 2025. I was cool with him. I wasn't like, friends with him and stuff, but I didn't have a problem with him. Little do I know that he hated me. He has me blocked on Twitter right now, and he's blocked me within the past 24 hours because I was not blocked prior to, everything happening. And also, I just want to add that I live in Egypt. I don't live in the US. I can't go to NYPD. I can't go to LAPD. I can't get in touch with the FBI. The stuff that I had was just Discord messages, I didn't have any solid evidence that he did it. But now, obviously, looking at it, it makes sense. So I just wanted to clear it up because a lot of people think I'm doing it for clout and I'm doing it for this and I'm doing it for that. I'm just doing it because I felt the time was right, and I've been sitting on this information, and I'm just glad it's out now. I also want y'all to know that I was 16. I was a kid. I was scared. I didn't want any legal things to happen. I didn't want my family to get involved. I was a 16-year-old kid. I was petrified. But that's it, really. I just wanted to mention that I don't have anything to do with Celeste. I'm praying for her family. There's a GoFundMe link. It'll be in my comments. I'll try pin it. And at this time, we just need to pray for the best.
And that just makes things worse because David has allegedly more victims that are also underage, according to this person. Now, he was bamboozled by David and his legal team. He was pressured into thinking that he was going to get in trouble and that he shouldn't be saying the things that he was saying, especially because he was a minor. Didn't know how these things were going. And usually when it comes to these Discord servers and when it comes to, these communities, it's not really adults or anybody over the age of 18 that's usually hanging out around there. So they really don't know better, which also brings to question if kids under the age of 18 should be joining these kinds of servers, because at the end of the day, stuff like this really does go on and situations like this really do happen. For example, this person said, oh my god, this stuff is real. And a fan said, what do you like to write about? Any favorite authors? And she tags David, and David responds with, I like writing gory psychological drama, romantic quotes, and a lot of death. What kind of answer is that? What kind of response is that? Now, if you listen to David's music, you can go down a rabbit hole of a bunch of lyrics that seem to be referencing Celeste. For example, Romantic Homicide was released on September 7th, which was also the birthday of the 15-year-old girl who was found dead in the car. And this is a verse. It says, in the back of my mind, I killed you and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true. I hate you. So very disturbing if true, and these aren't the only times that you can kind of connect these dots. There's so many coincidences that it's just hard to even call them that. It's more like we're kind of connecting dots of little tidbits that he's been releasing publicly, where he's been telling us that he's doing these things. And XQC went pretty hard when it came to solving whether or not this was the same girl or not.
User, that's crazy.
Dude,
So it's not standardized. So it's not. So I can go like this.
Yeah. No, I didn't inspect Element. I swear to God, I'm in LA and it says September 7 for me.
So all the songs, all the tweets, everything, September 7th, September 7th, September 7th, September 7th, September 7th, it is really weird and creepy. Not just that, but the singer David made a song about a girl named Celeste in December 2023, and the lyrics, honestly, it's if you know the context behind this song now that we know a couple years later, you're like, oh my God. And I'm just gonna skip over to the chorus.
Missing you so much. Afraid you only love me when undressed, but you look so damn gorgeous in that dress. Missing you so much makes me depressed, but I digress because I love you.
I might have to mute this song because it may be copyrighted, but I believe it's not because it's an unreleased, leaked song, so I don't think it will. But if you want to go check it out, just go to Fearbuck's Twitter and look it up under this thread. Now, fans also noticed and are speculating that David used a girl who looks eerily similar to Celeste on Romantic Homicide. This is the actor that he used on the music video, and this is a girl, same curly hair, looks awfully similar. I don't know if this is something he did on purpose, but again, the coincidences, I don't even want to use that word anymore. Now, we end everything with Jasontheween, the person that he's been hanging out with the most recently, a big figure that he's been around. They've made music together. He was supposed to open up for one of his shows, and he was backing him up when the news first broke out. Now, Detective XQC is currently trying to identify if the girl in the Jasontheween and David video is the same Celeste, because there's apparently two of them. What are the odds that there's two Celeste that he's hanging around with? It's insane.
Chad, this one looks different though. Eyebrows the same though, but I think I gotta say it, Chad.
He's trying to get the eyebrows, trying to see the different people that are popping up.
What about the back though?
Now, this is the full video of Jason and Ludwig defending David like nothing was wrong, but the new evidence makes it clear they were defending a murderer.
Situation?
With David?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't do it.
He's not a murderer?
No.
Thank God, bro. Because I was still going to listen to his music. I was just worried that I'd be an asshole if I did.
No, listen, he didn't do it. He literally performed the next day. If he was a suspect, the police would have been after him. He's not a suspect.
He's not just escaping the police clutches?
No. And I'm going to perform. We're going to perform on the 20th, me and David.
Jasontheween.
Let me do it. I'll make it. So,
Period.
you think David did it?
Do I think he's a murderer?
Yeah.
Can't rule him out.
Can't rule him out?
Can't rule him out.
Damn. No way. No.
You know what I did think was incredibly soft? I don't know
Like,
if it's
how do
true.
you steal a Tesla, though?
Huh? Wait, so you think it is him?
No,
That's
I
the
don't
problem.
think it's him.
Tesla.
I don't think it's him because he's been on tour.
No,
But also,
I
how
don't
do
think
you
it's him
steal a
either.
Tesla?
I think it's like almost obviously not him. But what's weird is that Crocs dropped him.
Yeah, why would they do that?
That's weird.
Yeah, and Hollister. Like, what? Why would they do that?
Why would they?
Till proven innocent? No. Innocent till proven guilty.
Now, Crocs and Hollister did drop the singer after the 15-year-old was found in the car. Obviously, they don't want anything associated with that. They're not going to risk their brand over, you know, a potential bad move. And this was the best move that they could have done as a company. Now, Kali Uchis also says her song with David is in the process of being taken down. She said, "Not my friend. I did a song with him, which is currently in the process of being taken down given today's disturbing news." So he's no longer getting the support that he was originally getting when it first came out. Even Jasontheween ended up unfollowing him after the news of the girl being Celeste and, you know, all the stuff that we just went over right now. After all that came out, he did end up unfollowing. But I don't know if that's enough to kind of, you know, clear him out, because now fans are calling for charges against Jasontheween, Cat's Eye, and Pokimane, accusing them of knowing that David was dating Celeste while she was underage and living with him, even streaming at his house. So Jasontheween and all these streamers were going to his house, they were streaming there, and they must have seen this girl. Maybe they didn't ask the right questions, they didn't try to find out whether or not she was a minor or somebody older, or if they did know, that could be so much worse. But I feel like we're never really going to find out from Jasontheween whether or not he knew or didn't know. The most obvious thing is for him to say that he did not know. Now, there's a couple more new tweets that have come out that would kind of fill into what I collected here with all this evidence, and I feel like there's just no need to keep adding and adding onto what already is a clear-cut case for me. If it ends up not being true, then this guy is either a genius at getting away with things, or it just truly wasn't his. Again, this is all alleged stuff. He hasn't really been convicted or, to our knowledge, taken into custody, but he did cancel the rest of his world tour. He's no longer doing any of that because he's clearly being investigated. The house that was across the car when it first got found got completely raided. Some laptops were taken away, so there's more stuff that will be coming out within the next couple of days, and honestly a very disturbing, sad, and tragic series of events. And if all of this stuff that I just covered is true, this person is an evil individual. I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below, and again, thank you guys for watching.